Thanks a lot, Mouse. Sometimes you're a little too helpful. What the heck's this? Please, Mouse, I just want to move things. How the heck do I delete all these messages in this chat, huh? Yeah, start fresh. I should not have clicked that. But I did it anyway. 100th episode. Here we go, clear chat. The chat was cleared by a moderator, prevented by better TTV. What? What do you mean prevented by a what do you mean prevented? Oh well, I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. Looking at this again, I'm wondering why I put Haisao. Wait, is this capturing the mouse? Yeah, it's capturing the mouse. Looking at this again, I wonder why I put Haisao on the bottom when I should have put him up here. I have him set to M for Mini, but I should have set him to Wumbo. Let's better X this out so that way I have some. I'll have something. Don't have too much things going on. Welcome Zane, I was trying to clear the chat so that way I could have that's way it would be fresh or whatever, but I guess it didn't work because previous messages from my stream are still up here. Of course that's not the case for you, but yeah. Yep, this is the right one. Now what was happening last time? Well, we'll find out soon. The sunlight breaks through my window shortly before my alarm ruins the morning silence. I feel sore. That's the previous evening suddenly intruded on my consciousness, and I found myself blushing. That was an eventful evening, and explains perfectly the soreness in my lower back. Walk back, as I recall, I'm rather tense. My trousers had been soiled. I had washed them off in the bathroom before going back to my room. Second. But there was still a fairly obvious looking stain on the front. Fortunately for me, the only person I ran into my way back was Kenji, and he didn't notice a thing. Well, apart from my being in the general vicinity. Of course, he asked how the night went and whether or not I learned anything of importance. I don't even know if I opened my mouth to answer. I was too tired to care. And this morning, I'll admit that I am feeling pretty worn out. Still, Emmy had promised to meet me at the track, and I'd hate to disappoint. He's indeed waiting for me when I arrive. Oh shoot, I forgot. I forgot Emmy had problems with her legs. Doing her best to look cheery, despite the fact that she's sitting in a wheelchair. Slowly through her and begins stretching. You're early. Emmy frowns and shakes her head. Ridiculous. You're late. Overslept, Haisao? I'll take her that. Well, she seems more like her old self. And as expected, she doesn't seem that shy about mentioning our previous activities. Hey, look, I could show up at all. All that cardiovascular activity last night, I nearly thought I'd have to see the nurse afterwards. Emmy laughs out loud, then her face suddenly becomes concerned. Hey, that's not, I mean, you're not. Come on, spit it out. It's just that it would be hard to explain if you had an episode while we were... Oh. Now that you mentioned it, it really is a legitimate concern. I certainly had thought about it last night, of course. Other more pressing concerns have been at hand. Well, I don't think anything we idea it was going to be any more of a strain than these morning runs. I handled those fine, so Amy considers this point. A devious light appears in her eyes. Say, light vanishes, and Amy grins ruefully at me. I got to feel vaguely suspicious. I seem to have forgotten a pair of gloves. Oh shoot! What do you need gloves for? Anyway, I didn't see a response at the controller. Twitch hiccuped on me. Oh, I said, thanks. Oh, thankfully, since I didn't actually clear anything, I said, oh shoot, let's see. I know what's coming up. Luigi. I said, now that you mention it, I did find one of my plugins for the Xbox controllers, so I could try that, but I'll do so later. And then I rephrased it as Xbox 360. And then I responded to you, I was using DS4 Windows. It did update, so maybe that caused something to go wrong. I don't know. Yeah, I do have an Xbox 360 controller, at least a wired one. Granted, I haven't used it in a while, and I forgot if there was a problem with it or not. I also have another one that's wireless, but I don't know if I can plug it to the TV or not, into the laptop or not. Okay, I know what the scene's coming up next, and if it's true, well, shoot. What do you need gloves for? Amy indicates the chair upon which he is seated. Well, this, of course. Sure, regular moving around is all well and good without him. I want to be able to get a good workout. And to get that kind of speed, you gotta have gloves if you don't want blisters. So, are you wussing out on me then? Do I have to go it alone? Amy thinks for a minute, or pretends to think. Wired is generally better for computers. If I remember right, there's a spare pair or two in the track shed. She does seriously want to do it then. But in a normal school uniform, I hadn't expected her to wear a gym outfit for something like this. Wait, why are they doing there? Wait, you got blisters? I'm sorry to hear about that, Zane. Amy looks askance at me. Seriously? You can't think of why a shed full of track supplies at a school for the disabled would have racing gloves? Well, when she puts it that way, I suppose that makes perfect sense. Yeah, still getting used to this place. Give me a break, huh? I guess I can let it slide this time. Now come on, I'll need your help. I can't imagine what for, but then again, I didn't have a clue why racing gloves would be in the shed, so I'm not willing to press the issue. Amy navigates the way to the shed easily enough that I can hear her grumbling under her breath. It's actually kind of cute. I hurry a little to reach the door first, hoping it would be easier for me than for her. The door opens, Amy starts to wheel inside, only to come to a sudden halt at the doorway. It seems the door is still slightly too high for her to get over by herself. She makes a few runs at it, unsuccessfully, before crossing her eyes and glaring at the offending object. Stupid wheelchair. Hey Sal, can you give me a hand here? Sure, no problem. This is a simple enough matter for me to bump Empy over the doorway, jostling her slightly. Hey, easy there! Oops, sorry. That's about this time I failed to notice where I'm going and run Emmy's chair into a mat. She gives a startled yelp and topples forward out of her chair. There's no one sounds, so I gaze in horror upon what I've done, and Emmy glares at me. So, yeah? Promise you you'll never work at a hospital. Sorry, I didn't mean to! Amy giggles and holds up a hand. Could you kindly help me back up to my chair, Hisao? I bend down to pick Emmy as she grins in triumph and pulls me into a kiss that quickly has us both entirely unconcerned about getting her back into the chair. Back as I move to a more comfortable position, I confess that the chair is pushed out the door, which, startled by the passage, swings shut. Well, at least we got privacy now, which is a good thing, as my hands work quickly to remove Emily's blouse and skirt. I startled to discover she's forgotten to put her bra on today. Did she plan this? Hey, if you forgot Chrono Trigger, you could just go back to 1000 AD, the enemies there don't get any stronger the entire game, so you can use them to get a refresher. Like, give me a second. Let's see. Chrono Trigger 1080. That'd be a good idea to practice for the stream. Oh, how was I supposed to know the controller was gonna goof up on me? I almost forgot that I censored her with lemons. Her arms look under mine and rest on my shoulders as I kiss my way down Emmy's neck, pausing to such a little attention to a spot right where the neck meets the shoulder that I found last night. You got pretty good, VA. I do try. Emmy pushes on my chest insistently. I draw back with a puzzled expression. I got a confession, I saw. Oh? I pulled back. I decided to instead focus my attention on her breast. As we tended to speak, her words are interspersed with giggles that I find incredibly cute. Actually, I don't wear gloves. Her reply is rather mumbled into her chest instead of being addressed to her face. Should have known. It all happened after Hisao accidentally asked for why. Oh, why? Asked for why, after Hisao accidentally bumped her wheelchair into a mat, she fell out and then she pulled him down on the floor. Words quickly become irrelevant. Annie's movements are almost frantic, as if she's been holding something back since we met this morning, and now she has an outlet. I'm very nearly caught off guard by her aggressiveness, feeling her nearly rip my shirt off, the way she seems to vie and to lead in a dominant position. For my part, I confess that I'm caught up in the attitude as well, finding back, rolling, wrestling, even as I caress her breasts, even as her fingers dig into my shoulders, I lose track of where we are. So much so that I roll right off the mat and land on something small and rather hard. Ow! Emmy, still flushed and breathing a little heavily, peers at me and bursts into laughter. I'm sorry. Are you alright? Yeah, I think so. Not sure where I landed on, though. Reached under my back and pulled the offending object out, inspecting it closely. Personal lubricant. Lemon flavored. Oh, shoot, there it is. Wait, what? Emmy's eyes shoot upwards, and she begins, if possible, to laugh even harder. So I don't think this isn't track related. Oh man, I know what those. Oh, whose that is? What? It's the track Cattons! Ah, my old nemesis. Or kind of. Kind of. How do you know it's his? Here's that I asked a stupid question, at least Emmy thinks so. Cause he's the one who told me the track show was a good place for, what did he call them? Clandestine encounters. Oh, you thought you'd won or something? Emmy bursts into more laughter. I confess naked Emmy laughing is oddly beautiful. I feel an eagerness to end the conversation and get back to what we were doing, despite my rather pointed questioning. I saw the track captain's gay. Huh? Really? And here I initially thought you two were a couple. Well, I did have a crush on him when I first joined up, but he wasn't interested. Obviously. We are good friends, I guess. Hey, you told me about all this, you know. Is that why you chose lemons? Exactly! As well as another reason that I completely forgot, but we'll get there when we get there. I hesitate to ask. And I really do, but I ask anyways. What does he need the lube for anyway? He doesn't, how the hell does Emmy manage to not blush? Obviously uses it for, you know, anal. I try to suppress a snicker. I fail. Emmy's giggling too. And he tells you about all this? Emmy shrugs. Yeah, of course. He's kinda wild about the whole thing. Saying it's a feeling that can't be beat. Huh. Being in the track shed seems charged with some kind of horrible curiosity. That's interesting. I still have to take his word for it. Well, birds outside stop chirping, flowers stop blooming, the wind dies down. Somewhere, a man is drinking a cup of coffee. He freezes with the cup at his lips. We could maybe try it. Watch out, suddenly and spontaneously hinges and hits the floor. Ah! What? Amy is finally blushing, rubbing the back of her head ruefully. Well, just that we really can't do what we did last night, you know? It would be a little... It wouldn't be safe, you know? It wasn't exactly a great idea last night. So, you know, we could try this to see if it, is as good. Yeah, basically. Huh. Scallops. Oh, shit. I wish I could show this uncensored, because it was actually kind of funny. So I switch from pleasure to pain, causing me to lose my balance, and I fall forward on top of Emmy. You just missed the greatest thing. Give me a second. Can I find it? Give me a second. Oh shoot, if I knew this was coming up. I mean, I knew it was coming up, but I didn't know when it was coming up. What the crap is this? Please tell me I got here. Oh sweet, I got here. Give me a second. Emmy. Oh shoot, all these images gotta load. Stupid. Just missed Emmy making the greatest face of meme, though. It's gotta be here somewhere. Come on, where is it? Watch you just see her silly little looking face. It's gotta be somewhere here. Somewhere. Oh, well, I can show you later. I can look for that later. But I'll give this one more a go before I do. You predicted the tentacles, except without the tentacles. Let's see, you think the event would have been here somewhere. Ren, Shizu. Birds are singing, flowers are blooming. Oh, well, I'll just have to show you later. A shame I can't find it. I want that to be sort of a highlight of the stream. Testicles. So I switch from pleasure to pain, causing me to lose my balance. I fall forward on top of Emmy. Ow! Ow! I quickly roll off of Emmy and prop myself up, breathing heavily and trying to ignore the pain in my crotch. Emmy elbows a little as she rolls over, where she grabs a couple of the tissues we kept handy earlier, cleans up before getting her panties back on, awkwardly leaning against the wall. Still breathing heavily, I decided to sit back against the wall next to her, feeling the cool concrete against my spinning back was an opening sensation. That hurt at the end! Yeah, this was probably not a great idea. Emmy squirms in order to try and sit down beside me without too much pain. Judging by her wincing, it doesn't really work. Yeah, I'm gonna have words with the captain. He was clearly lying. The utter absolute ridiculousness of the situation suddenly hits and I begin laughing. Emmy shakes her head and begins laughing with me. Hey, I saw. Yeah? We're never doing this again, right? Yeah, I think my curiosity is satisfied on that one. Emmy nods, satisfied. Good. I think we should maybe stick to the basics, don't you? I mean, most of this is new to me anyway. What do you mean, most? Emmy grins impishly. I'll never tell. What a pleasant thought strikes me. Even more pleasant is the thought of having to ask Emmy about it. Still, after what we just done, it should be a cakewalk. Hey, is there a sink? I kinda like to, wash off a little. Emmy's jaw drops. In the sink? Well, there's not really anywhere else to do it, is there? And, I want to avoid a smell that the nurse might notice. This is the most awkward conversation I have ever had to have. You're right. Yeah, there's, it's on the back wall. Might be some soap, too. Thanks. Lemon scented. God damn it. There is, in fact, a little hand soap, which is better than nothing. No towel, though. Guess we'll just have to drip dry. All finished? Yeah, that'll do for now. It's not like I'm going to take a shower after we see the nurse. Glad to hear it. Now help me find my clothes. You tossed them somewhere. Hey, you know better. I was about to explain that hole in my shirt, huh? Sorry, I got a little excited earlier. Well, you see, there was this hamster. He was a kung fu master. With a black belt with origami. It takes some time, but finally we're both more or less cold. There's a frantic moment where neither of us knows where Emmy's wheelchair is. I recall going through the door and rescue it. You were careful going through this door this time, would you? Bumps are not my friend right now. I'm so sorry we tried this. Emmy shrugs and grins. Oh, it was worth a shot, right? Anyway, it was good exercise, right? Can't argue that. Making my way to the nurse's office, I noticed Emmy keeps shifting uncomfortably in her seats. God, this feels weird. Good thing I'm in a wheelchair, I saw. Why's that? Just now I don't have to explain to the nurse why I'm walking funny. Oh. We're never doing this again. Here's at least kind of not to comment on the marks that Emmy left on my shoulders. Or does he say a word about Emmy's constant shifting around in her wheelchair? You didn't notice, or you didn't want to notice? Oh, give me a second. Alright, I'm back. Turns out it was nothing. I thought someone knocked on my door, but I guess not. But I kinda hoped. Like I decided to go out and get some more water, so I'm back. Sorry about that. Anyway, either he didn't notice, or he didn't want to notice. I'll say I'm going to have to make sure he didn't slip cyanide in our medication for a little while. Just to be safe. I shower for longer than usual, just to be sure and clean up our little experiment, and then collapse on the bed. Class is in 20 minutes, so I can probably afford a nap. Who's there? That's not how the joke goes at all. I already said who's there! More importantly, what time is it? More importantly, what day? I am suddenly catapulted to wakefulness by both the fact that the knocking still hasn't stopped and the fact that it's noon on a school day. Now fully awake, I can remember why I was napping. But I'd give that excuse to Matua. Sorry I wasn't in class, I was experimenting sexually with my girlfriend and it tired me out. Yeah, that'll go over well. How long this knocking is going to continue? Guess I ought to answer the door. I am strangely unsurprised to see Kenji on the other side. Oh shoot, where'd I go with his voice? Though it appears that Kenji is surprised to see me. Foolish samurai warrior! What the hell are you doing here, man? Well, I was sleeping. Kenji nods understanding. Knocked out, I see. I told you to be careful around that Ibarazaki chick, man. This is the sort of thing that happens when you aren't cautious. Makes an attempt to look at the back of my head. Did she hit you or something? Or was it a drug? Stop trying to touch me. Kenji produces a flashlight and shines in my eyes. You got a concussion? I wasn't knocked out. Wait, the screen's frozen? Well, according to this, it's still working, so... Look. Try reloading. Have you reloaded? Is me mouse moving? No, I had to reload. It's okay now. Alright, I guess it was stuck in that nurse for so long it got frozen. Anyway, I wasn't knocked out! Maybe you just don't remember. This conversation isn't going anywhere. Monkey wearing lederhosen? No, I just had a tiring morning and I fell asleep. Whatever, man. If you want to be in denial about this, I guess I can't stop you. But you gotta watch out for that girl, man. She's not safe. What? She's not safe to be around! She's one of the most sinister agents! If you're not careful, there's no telling what could happen! She's brought down stronger men than you know. What the hell are you talking about? She's not an agent of anything, and she didn't knock me out, okay? I also highly doubt that she's brought down anyone at all. Kenji looks almost offended. I have no idea why. You don't believe me? That's cold, man. Real cold. I try to look out for you. That's what friends do, you know. We're friends? I have no idea. Then again, I wonder if Genji knows what being a friend even entails. I feel something like pity for him, standing there before me. Maybe he does think he's looking out for me. I know. Sorry about that. Thanks for the warning. I held out my hand as a sign of peace. Kenji shakes it gingerly, like my hand could possibly be on fire. There's an awkward silence for a few seconds before Kenji remembers that he's still shaking my hand. Anyway, I need a favor. What kind of favor? I'm out of money. No, you aren't. You got money kept in your desk drawer under a blank notebook for emergencies. Did you ransack my room? That's not important. I don't need monies anyway. He adopts a very serious tone. I'm about to undertake a major op. It'll blow the whole conspiracy wide open if I'm right. But it's dangerous, so I need you to do something for me in case I don't come back. Sure man. Anything. What the hell is he planning on doing? Should I be telling someone about this? If I go missing, wait 3 days, and then mail my journal off to the newspapers. It's hidden in my room under a false bottom one in one of my desk drawers. How do I get into your room? I don't have a key. Yeah, he looks at me like I'm crazy. So pick the lock. You know how to do that, right? It's an important skill to learn at a young age. Yeah, of course I know how. I'll be sure to do that for you if you go missing. I don't think I want to read Kenji's journal. I strongly doubt Harry Aku is correct. Either way, Kenji seems pretty happy that I agreed to do this thing for him. Great, man, great! I'll see you around. I got stuff to do. And he's gone, dashing down the hallway. I mean, it seems so final. I hope I don't have to carry out his final wishes. Shaking my head, I close my door and walk back to my bed. Guess I should go to class. I wanted to catch the last half of the day. But I got this far without going to class today. I didn't want to read more of that hawking book Matua let me. I'm sure you'll understand. This time I know he jerks my attention away from my book. An experience not unlike being woken up. Who's there? Me! Aren't you glad? Voice is muffled through the door, but it's unmistakably Emmy's. I hop up and open the door, smiling broadly. Hey, nice to see you again. Emmy grins back, staring up at me from her wheelchair. Yeah, you would have seen me earlier, but the damned elevator wasn't working. I had to wait for them to fix it. Think they could keep it in better order, but no. I chuckled a bit of her vexed expression and invite her in. She rolls in easily, and with my help she hops on the bed. There, much more comfortable in that stupid chair. Anyway, it seems like she at least has some prior experience. A sigh of contentment hangs in the air, and for a minute we both just stare at one another. At this point, I notice the circles under Emmy's eyes. They're not dark, but they definitely weren't there before. When I ask about them, Emmy fixes me with a mischievous stare. Mischievous? So, I couldn't help but notice you were at lunch today. In fact, I don't think I saw you at all. What happened? Fell asleep. I actually didn't wake up until lunch, and only then because Kenji woke me up. Why'd you so tired? Strenuous workout this morning. Slightly uncomfortable too. Emmy coughs, a half laughing, half embarrassed noise. Alright, we got to do that again. No problem. Wasn't exactly great for me either, to be honest. We'll just avoid that for now. Are you, still sore? Emmy stares at me in disbelief. What? What? It's a legitimate concern. Of all the questions I never thought I'd be asked, that's one of them. Well, I didn't ever expect to ask it, so we're even. Emmy laughs at this. I guess so, huh? Well, since you ask, yes, I'm still a little sore. We're never doing that again. No arguments are here. You want to escape, sir? And I raise an eyebrow. Tired? Emmy nods sleepily. Haven't slept well. Not sleeping well. I can tell that she didn't mean to tell me this either, because she gives a little start like she's been caught lying and hastens to add. It's not a big deal, though. What's the trouble? Emmy shrugs and refuses to elaborate. Stressed over exams? Another shrug, but after a pause, Emmy nods hesitantly. Yeah, I guess. Actually, that's why I stopped by. It's looking more and more miserable. Not so you notice, of course, but her eyes on her lap, and she's fidgeting and her voice is quiet. Yeah, we need to stop hanging out so much. Huh? Why? Maybe take a deep breath, like she's been practicing this. Because you're too much fun to be around. I can't concentrate when you're near me. With exams coming up soon, I just can't have that distraction. Otherwise, my grades look pretty lousy, I'm afraid. I could help you study. She smiles at me, clearly unhappy with the situation. I'd love it if you could, but we wouldn't actually study, would we? I mean, even now, I'm trying to have a conversation with you, but I just kind of want to, not converse. Overruled by a rugged manualist. I understand. That earns me a grin, at least. Amy shakes her head. Idiot, you're full of yourself. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty irresistible. More or less, I guess. So that's the situation, Haisao. I have too much fun around you, and if I'm going to go to exams prepared, I need to be alone. Hey, that's okay. Well, it seems to have been bothering her. It's only a couple of weeks. We'll still see each other in the mornings and at lunch. We just hang out at school, no problem. After exams, we'll go on a date to celebrate their being over, okay? Amy grins, pleased by this proposal. Yeah, sure, that sounds great! As if to signal the end of the conversation, she leans in and kisses me. Most of the night is not spent worrying about exams. It's weird how easily Emmy and I can keep from seeing one another after class now. Actually, I venture to say that's vaguely disturbing. As easily as we come together, it seems to have split apart without much trouble. Well, I guess that's not exactly true. We've both been pretty bummed after last night together. And we get to see each other every morning for our runs, and just our runs, I might add. Lunch too. I especially enjoy lunchtime with her. We have plenty of time to talk about everything outside of school, whereas the morning runs have become increasingly businesslike. I think it's because Emmy wants to make up for our foolery in the storage shed. No matter how much we joke at lunch, I can't feel a little bit worried about her. She seems distracted more often. I caught her fidgeting nervously more than once. And I figured it'd be someone who cared that deeply about exams, but they certainly seem to be taking their toll. Even though they haven't even started. It's just the run-up, deep breath before the plunge. Tomorrow is the real trials again. She only has time for her primary distraction. Well, the real exams, anyway. As for me, I actually don't feel that worried about exams at all. Not sure why. I mean, they're pretty important. My scores here will determine my odds of getting into a good university. Hell, if I'm too cavalier now, it could spell doom for my academic career. Going into them, I feel confident that I'll come out the other side okay. We'll tell the things I got the science examination locked up at any rate. Or as he says, last thing that should give you any trouble is my exam, I saw. It's way beneath your talents. And again, it is Matua who's telling you this. His phrase of me carries the veiled implication that anything less than perfect for me would be a disappointment, which is actually causing me to fret more than I should about the exam. It's for that reason that I find myself in the library after class, poring over the textbook. Reasonable things to look over, some formulas of velocity, a few bits about friction. The walk in the park compared to my dreaded English exam. Never was good with languages. As I flip through my notes one more time, my mind begins to wander. After these exams are over, things should get easier. Soon we'll be graduated. And after college, hopefully. Or I might have more of an attempt to find out what Emmy's plans to do after high school. She avoided such a pretty deftly, as I recall. It seems that just about every time I push too hard, she dances around the subject. Or distracts you through other means. A few days ago at lunch, when Rin wasn't around. Ah! I did it! I startled from Ryuko's triumphant shout. Give me a second. Okay, I want to remember how I can bring up the menu to save. Gah! Yuko seems mortified at my sudden starting. Oh my god! I'm so sorry! I really wasn't, I was just that... As she stutters, I move to quickly calm her down before she gets too agitated. Whoa, hey! That word seemed ineffective. You continues to work yourself into a complete frenzy. And it's a library, and I shouldn't be... Easy there, just calm down. And I'm really setting a bad example, and I'll get fired because I can't do anything right. You go! Sure, it seems to work, though I draw the ire of several other students studying in the library. Yuko snaps to attention, like a soldier who just heard the captain bark an order. Sorry. Calm down, it's okay. Just startled me a little, that's only because I was daydreaming instead of studying. I doubt the protagonist Kun is an expert in science after the lemon scene. Biology, fail. No, it was the lemons. The lemons. Literally just got me back on task. This is a complete lie, but it seems to work. Yuko takes a deep breath and seems to calm down a little. A wild fest girl appears. Though she keeps shifting around with nervous energy that seems awfully familiar. So, what got you all excited anyway? Yamaku Cat Burglar! To her credit, Yuko manages to convey her tense excitement in a whisper. I think I know who it is! I got an obvious tip as to their identity. So I did some spying. I think the tipster was right. Oh, really? And who was the, burglar? Yuko shuts her mouth, shaking her head decisively. Nope, I can't tell you that. Why not? Between me and the burglar, I can't risk you warning him that I'm onto his game. He could tip his hand early and blow town. Then I'm left with no perp. When did Yuko start talking like a hard-boiled detective? I wouldn't warn him. Why would I care? Gotta ask that question, but you don't need to know. That doesn't make any sense, but okay. Congratulations, I guess? Thanks! What for? The, cat burglar thing? Yuko nods and smiles appreciatively. So, studying for exams? Well, that was the plan. I'm not having much luck, though. Really? It's because you can't find a book. I'm really sorry! I've been meaning to clean the shelves up for weeks now, but I keep getting distracted. I'm so sorry. Whoa, wait! It's not that. I got my book right here. To illustrate my point and hopefully calm Yuko down, I show her the textbook in front of me. My mind just keeps wandering is all. Because of the noise in here. I'm trying to be more strict about the noise levels, but I can't bring myself to yell at people. I mean, aren't their lives hard enough without me throwing my authority around? No, it's not the noise level either, I promise. I'm just... hell, I don't know. Worried about Emmy? Worried about us? Worried about what happens after we graduate? Emmy's been kind of weird lately. What do you mean? Well, you know how we're dating now? I just don't know that we're actually, you know, a couple. Or at least I don't know that we're beyond friends. Our friends normally don't do the sort of things we do. Physically, we're a couple. Coupling, at least. Coupling? It's like every time I try to find out more about her, or about what she wants to do with her life, she dodges the question. Like the other day, I was talking to her at lunch about some schools I've been looking into. I asked her, "Are you looking to any schools lately?" She shrugs in response, says no. When I ask why not, she says that she doesn't think that far ahead. I asked why she had that policy, and she... That's something else I'm about to start describing, and wisely decide to clam up. She what? She changed the subject. Wouldn't talk about it. Maybe it's an uncomfortable subject for her. Or she doesn't think it needs explaining. Yeah, but it's not just that. Every time I try to find out what's been bothering her, she changes the subject too. It's like she likes being with me, but not getting close to me. That's loud to feel worse. You could digest this bit of information. You know, it seems to me like you're more serious about this than she is. I can almost feel my stomach twist into a knot. She's right. That's exactly what it seems like. Was that really what's going on? I mean... Sorry, I'm just talking nonsense. You shouldn't take my advice, you barely know me. I'm just a librarian, and I'm single, so you can imagine that I can't know what I'm talking about. No, I think you have a point. As much as it hurts to even consider it. You can seem to desperately find a way to soften the blow somewhat. Look. I'm probably wrong, but if you want to be sure of how obviously wrong I am, maybe you should just talk to her. Get some time alone and just ask about it. Don't let her change the subject either. Yeah, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should just enjoy what I have. You have fun hanging out after all. And the runs are nice, and the other activities are nice, and talking to her is nice. Do I really need to get closer to her? What I've got right now is pretty good. That's silly. I want to get closer to her. I want to be able to help her out with whatever's bothering her. But maybe I should wait until after the exams are over. Maybe she'll brighten up once the stress has passed. If she does, then I don't need to worry about it anymore. But if she doesn't, well, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I thank Yuko for her advice and head back to my room. Yeah, I'll be able to concentrate more on my studies in there. I leave the room after finishing my final exam and breathe a sigh of relief. As I had hoped, the exams weren't so bad. I managed to breeze through just about everything but the English final. Damn you! English! Even that was acceptable. Wonder how Emmy did. Even more so, well, how she's doing. She looked terrible at lunch today. I mean, she was pretty happy to be out of her wheelchair, but she was so exhausted. Something's been wearing her down. I started to really doubt that it was just the exams. Should I confront her about this, though? My amusing is interrupted by a tap on the shoulder. Hey, I saw. Got a minute? Alright, does Hisao have a minute, or does he not have a minute? Hey, sorry for being away for so long. Welcome to the stream, Roz. Well, if no one's gonna decide anything, I'm gonna make my own choice. I'll wait just a little bit longer, though. 1 minute. I suppose I can spare a few minutes. Yeah, I got some time. More important to be or anything like that. The choice has been decided. Mattel raises an eyebrow as if questioning my statement, then beckons me back into the classroom. I wanted to get some feedback from you if I could. I know that this course isn't quite up to your level. Don't worry about it. Science club activities more than made up for it. Did they? Well, in fact, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. We got a few minutes, but could it hurt? You think that was a worthwhile activity? Just for my own reference. Well, yeah, it was a great way to go further than we did in class, but it's definitely worthwhile. Mattel seems delighted about our response. That's great, and the sort of thing I was hoping for. No, Hisao, I'm glad you came here. It's always good to have a student who really gets into the subject you teach. In a way, it makes dealing with the rest of the students more tolerable. You're a bright kid too. You took to this stuff like a duck to water, or some other such smile. Thanks. You're a great help. Let's see with that college stuff. There's one more thing I saw. A bit of advice from one scientist to another. What's that? What does a scientist do? The average fighters observe the world around them. Exactly. Good. A simple question, but one that most people can't seem to answer. That's the essence of a scientist, Haisao. We observe what's there, then we try to figure it out. But what if there's something you can't figure out? What's a scientist to do if he can't observe something? How, for example, can we talk about the quarks when no one has ever actually seen one, or black holes when observing them directly is impossible? Well, scientific equipment's pretty advanced. Uto irritably waves away my response. No, that's not it at all. Those are tools. I'm trying to give you a philosophy. Think. You can't observe something directly, then how can you observe it? Guess? How? How would you guess the movement of a quark? What is your guess based on? Of course. I should have thought of it earlier. The things it affects. Uto claps his hands together excitedly and whoops. Yes, exactly. Good. Remember that, Haisao. You can't examine something directly just because you're looking at it wrong. You have to look at it differently if you want to uncover the truth, and if it eludes you, then look at what it leaves behind. That is the essence of being a scientist. You never stop looking for the answer, never take anything for granted. Observe, experiment, and observe some more. A lot of stuff out there that makes no sense, Haisao. Your job is to get it to make sense. Nothing else. I hope you learned that here. I think I can remember that. Matuo smiles satisfied. Good. Now go enjoy your time off. You've earned it. Sorry guys, I'll be back again. It shouldn't take too long like last time. I'm back. Sorry. Now, go into your time off. You've earned it. I leave the room feeling a little confused. What brought that on? Although, am I going about this thing with Emmy the wrong way? She would tell me, then how can I go about it some other way? The question keeps spinning in my head even after I made my way back to my room. What if she gets angry about it? Besides, what if it's nothing? If I go in and refuse to leave until she tells me what's wrong or something, won't that come off as clingy? I don't want to start a fight or anything over something like this. I should just drop the matter and see how she is tomorrow before I do anything. Would it be so bad to just let it go? Like we don't enjoy each other's company. But as odd as it sounds, I really want to help her. I don't even know what with or if there's anything at all that she needs help for. But I want to. Someone knocking on my door rouses me. Thanks, Zane. I open it to see Kenji. Oh, it's you. It's me? That's it? You got any idea what I've been through? What I've done? You'd be happy to see me, dude. I mean, that was some epic you may have never seen me again shit. Here you just act like I went down to the store for some milk. You're a cold man, I saw. I really respect that. Thanks, I guess. It's hard to play it safe, you know. Don't show any emotion. Keep your cards close to your chest. Until it's time to show your cards, or you have bad cards. Then you should fold or collect your winnings. Do you understand? Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I take it the mission went well? Yeah, whoa, awfully nosy of you, isn't it? You can't just go saying things like that. Things are at a delicate stage. One wrong move and BAM! The invasion succeeds. We're gonna blow the conspiracy wide open. It's bigger than I thought. I need to update my charts. Probably change some of the puppets around. Want help? I got some whiskey from somewhere. You can fill me on everything your investigation has turned up. Better not. I'm supposed to meet her today. Gotta do that. Can't raise suspicion. Kenji nods in approval. Still keeping it close to the chest, eh? Okay, man. I respect that. Good luck. Thanks. I'm just going to pretend, for the sake of my own sanity, that he's wishing me luck in talking to Emmy. And if I squint, that whole card analogy he was talking about works here. Time to lay it all on the table. Or see if I can't get Emmy to do so, rather. With a sense of something approaching purpose, I head for Emmy's room. I hop up the stairs leading to her room and knock on her door. Who's there? That's odd. Voice sounds a little choked. Hey, it's me. Thought I'd stop by. I saw? Come on in. I reach down the door, open the door, only to find that it's locked. More and more curious. Your door's locked. Yeah, sorry. Give me a minute. In a few minutes, Emmy opens the door, grinning. Sorry, I had to put my legs on. I was napping. Spider grin. Something definitely off. Emmy's eyes are slightly red. Looks like she's been crying. Hey, no problem. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Just that you look like you've been crying. Yeah, I saw you're off to a great start in this one. But, yeah, I'm fine. I'm just happy to see you. He punctuates this with a long kiss that continues as the door slams shut behind us. I know what she wants to do now, and I'm also painfully aware of how badly I want to do it too, but I break the kiss with a wrench of self-control that nearly kills me. Hey, wait. Amy's eyes crinkle in confusion. Huh? Wait for what? We need to talk. Is that supposed to be my line? Never a good thing to say. She's got a point. It's usually the lead into a breakup. Or the prelude to a fight. Maybe it can be a good thing this time. That's the hope anyway. Can we at least get into the bed? It's my first day back on these things, and I am still readjusting. faster, so I should try to be on them less often since running puts a strain on them. Can't argue with that. It's a trap, we both know it, and we both don't care. Then again, it's awfully hard to get angry while in bed with the object of your affections. Maybe there's that motivation in too. I set Emmy's legs by the bedside and sit down next to her, throwing an arm around her shoulders. In silence, we both enjoy being able to be in this position again for a few minutes. And of course, I need to ruin it by opening my mouth. Look, I know that you've been having a bit of a rough time of it lately, and I want to help out. I thought it was just exams getting to you, but now I come to your room and you've been crying, and that kills me. But I can't do anything if you won't talk to me about it. I told you, I'm fine. No, you aren't. It's obvious something's eating you. You can tell me, you know. That's the slightest increase in there's a slightest increase in tension in Emmy's voice. Why is my saying I'm not fine not good enough? You're concerned, I get that. That's cool. But I'm fine, and it's nothing that you need to worry about. Not sleeping and spacing out more than Rin doesn't strike me as being fine. I just want to help. Uh-huh. Yeah, I don't like seeing you like this. I want you to be happy, you know? I get the feeling that came out wrong because Emmy fixes me with an icy stare. So you want to fix me, Haisao? He's definitely getting angry now. Want to swoop on your white charger and save the day? Stop the nightmares, the phantom limb pains? Restore what's lost? The voice catches in her throat and tears start to flow. Well, you can't. Nobody can. Nobody will. I'm so stunned by her sudden verbal assault that I remain quiet. Neither of us says anything for a while. Tries that Emmy tightens her grip on me rather than pushing me away. After a deep breath, she starts talking again. Look, I'm sorry. There's these nightmares. About the accident. The accident? I should have known. It took her legs after all. It never comes up, of course. I usually deal with them fine because I can run. Running clears my head like nothing else. I don't have to worry about anything while I'm running. I just concentrate on breathing and on the rhythm of things. It's easier that way. Life's easier that way. Just keep moving forwards, you know? Nothing else matters. Just getting around the next curve. Then it's the next curve, and the next, until I can't go anymore, or think anymore, or do anything but slow down and walk until I catch my breath again. After something like that, nothing else matters. But I've been stuck in that goddamn wheelchair for too long, so no outlet. They just kind of boiled over a little. You gotta talk to me about, you know. You don't have to do it alone. Emmy smiles sadly, but she's trying to explain to a child that all fires burn. Yeah, I did, and I do too, and I do. But why? Why do you have to keep going through this alone? Why can't you trust me enough to let me help you? Smile again. Emmy leans in and kisses me on the cheek, an almost motherly gesture. She moves her mouth close to my ear, and she confesses this one thing to me. Because, Haisao, I've already had everything I knew ripped away from me once. I don't know what I'd do if it happened again. She pauses, as if uncertain as to whether or not she should continue. I can feel a violent churning in my gut. She continues. So I can't rely on you, or the nurse, or anyone else. Just me. That's how it's got to be. I delivered this short speech. She looks down and covers her mouth with the back of her hand. The conversation is clearly over. I search for something to say, but can't think of anything. Maybe I should go for now. I got stuff. Emmy doesn't even look up. She sounds tired or relieved. I can't tell which. Okay, Haisao. Go take care of that stuff. I'll see you tomorrow. I get off the bed and head for the door, pausing at the doorway. Hey, Emmy. Yeah? I found some things I want to say. I'm too mixed up to say any of them, though. After her admitting that she'll never let me close, I feel like my world's just been ripped out from me. What happened in that accident? Well, she lost her legs. That's never seemed to bother her. What happened there? It scares a girl so badly that she won't accept help even from someone she loves. I don't know. But I want to know. I know so badly that being denied that answer feels like a knife in my guts. Hisao? You were saying? I'm still standing in the doorway. Nothing. Never mind. And I'm closing the door. And walking down the hallway. Down the stairs. Out the door. Into the dark. Somehow I wandered back into my own room. My brains are doing a mile a minute, going nowhere fast. I can't figure out how to deal with this. I thought that moving forward was a good thing. Dwelling less on the past that I can't change, living in the present and looking at the future. After this thing with Emmy, I'm not sure anymore. She was saying the truth, so if we look at the next curve, knowing the path gone by. No worry about the opponent left behind. Don't care for the spectators on the sidelines. Fortunately, no time to watch out for lacking teammates either. I throw myself down in the bed, get one corner of my ceiling as if the answers I want were written there. No such luck, of course. She's literally running away from something, and have I not been doing the same thing, trying my best to forget about my hospitalization? I am getting better, but my health isn't going to magically fix itself. And yet, 2 legs instead of a heart to deal with, but those aren't going to magically fix themselves either. It's just as fixed as the both of us can get. The room becomes darker and darker, until I can't really tell if I'm looking at a corner anymore. Morning comes too soon, on the heels of a sleepless night. This is how Emmy's been spending her nights. Staring at the wall or ceiling, trying to stop thinking about whatever it is. Her, in my case. That clenched feeling in my gut is still there. I can't rely on you. Words spoken so casually. Almost like she were teasing me, or chastising me for suggesting that the earth is flat. That's how it's got to be. That's the way it's got to be sucks. The way it's got to be sucks. I'm feeling so miserable that I nearly decided to skip the run. That would be stupid though. It's not something I should just do just to see her. I'm sure that was the original reason, but something more now. I started to enjoy the running itself. The worst way is to get the blood flowing anyway. That's what I'd say after the first week or so, but I feel a lot better after a run. No matter what else I do today, I got at least done that one thing. I've at least done that one thing. Makes me too. It makes me up too. Emmy herself said that running always clears her mind. Maybe it'll help clear mine. I hope so. Morning is cool and clear, if a bit humid. Summer's making itself known, it seems. Emmy's already stretching out when I arrive, and greets her with a smile and a wave. Hey, Hisao! Sight of her is so chipper, it's like a kick in the nuts. How can she be so happy after yesterday? I give a half wave and I'm surprised to receive a hug. Hey, about last night. Here it comes. I wanted to say thanks. Actually, I managed to get some sleep for the first time in a while. I think it's because of our talk. So, thanks. She sleep better after our chat. She basically told me that she wouldn't get any closer to me. Did that let her sleep well? Excuse me, what the hell? Emmy either doesn't notice my bafflement or chooses not to notice. No telling with her anymore. Oh, no problem. Glad it helped. Man, that breeze trying to drip into my voice is controlled for now. I think I'd better start running now before I do anything stupid. Emmy seems equally willing to get started, and before long we're darting around the track. I can tell she feels more relaxed. Her running has gone back to the more graceful movements I remember from when I first watched her. Stark contrast to the almost brutal way she's been hurling herself around the track these past few days. Our talk really does seem to have helped her. But pity it couldn't help me. I get into the rhythm of the running, thinking back to when I couldn't afford thinking out anything else but keeping my breathing steady and legs moving. Guess those days are gone. At least for the first couple of laps. And knowing my lack of success I'm having with clearing my head, I increase the pace. There's a burning sensation in my legs. The breath comes ragged in my chest, the pounding of my heart, which I still need to be careful about. It does seem to have gone stronger. I can feel it pumping blood through my veins. The sound thrums in my ears, but instead of being panicked as I was that day on the snow, I'm instead filled with elation. Yes, it's working. My heart, that fatal flaw that landed me here, has improved. I'm gonna keep going now. Maybe one day I'll be able to stop worrying as much. Right now it doesn't matter that I have no idea what to do about Emmy and I. All that matters is that my arms and legs continue to pump in concert with one another. Nothing else. As I hit the final stretch, I remind myself that running really does help, though not as much as I had hoped. I do feel better, and as I walk a few laps to cool down, I begin to remember last night in a slightly less emotional manner. Emmy wants me to stay distant from her. I can't bring myself to do so. There's gotta be a way around this, some kind of middle ground I can reach. Not sure what middle ground is, though. Damn, I was almost feeling optimistic. Nice run, Haisao! Really improved! Nice run. A blog of hope for now, isn't it? Congratulations, Haisao. You're pathetic. I gotta change my attitude. Well, you know, I am pretty awesome. I just keep saying things that I don't mean. In a second now, I'll be as good hiding my problems as Emmy is. I like to think so. How she do this to me? Say something like that with such real affection in her voice that makes my heart leap. She doesn't mean it. She can't. Mostly doing a worse job than I thought, because Emmy peers closely at me. Hey, you feeling okay? Maybe we should get to the nurse, huh? Yeah, I hate to keel over on you. Emmy looks a little shocked at my bitter tone. Don't say things like that! You already done it once before, you know. Why did you act so affectionate? Can't really care. I thought she made that clear. But all of that, I find myself apologizing, even though I shouldn't have to. Even though she's probably just putting on an act. Sorry. Come on, let's see the nurse. I can't get myself to calm down the whole time. Time feels like I've gotten over what happened last night. Emmy does something or says something that shows affection, and I'm back to the beginning. The image for ending that conversation haunts me. It's like the final twist of the night that left me feeling bereft of any hope that Emmy and I could be more than what we are. What are we at this point? A little more than friends who happen to fuck. Really, it's not like I don't enjoy the time I spent with her, said so the other day myself. I very nearly didn't even bring myself up with her. Was just gonna hop on in there and let it ride, wasn't I? Just running through my head, I find myself in front of the nurse's office, still brooding as he checks out Emmy. Emmy comes banging on the door, gives me a kiss, and darts off to the shower, I assume. Meanwhile, the nurse beckons me into his office to give me his ritual once-over. Hey, any problems today? Yeah, I've been pushed a little hard today than I have in the past, and I seem to be able to handle it. That's uncharacteristically risky coming from you, Haisao. You've been hanging out with Emmy too much. She shows off on you, and not necessarily in a good way. Mention of Emmy's name, I cannot but frown unhappily in spite of my efforts at control. Well now, this is new, don't you think? Last I checked, your usual response to Emmy's name was a grin, not a frown. What exactly happened between you two? Because Emmy doesn't seem to be in on it, whatever it is. Doubt has set in. She's looking more relaxed than I've seen her in weeks, which is unusual for this time of the year. What do you mean by that? What? For this time of year, I keep trying to find out what's been bothering her, but she clams up as soon as I approach the subject. Last night, she said, let me guess, she won't tell you because she says she can't trust you. And now you're crushed because you thought that the two of you were so much more than she seems to think, right? More or less. How the heck did you know? Haisao, I'm the nurse. It's my job to know these things. Plus, I know Emmy for long enough to know that she'd try to do something like this. It's just like her. This is a sort of half-affectionate, half-frustrated... uses a sort of half-affectionate, half-frustrated tone that would seem more appropriate if he had a cigarette dangling from his lips. As it is, he seems willing to make do with the pen. Look, mind if I give you some advice? Should we take the teacher's advice? His advice? Should we take Dr. Kun's friendly advice? Dr. Wowie. Dr. Light. I see, sure. So, sure, why not? Wasn't what Toa said yesterday? Can't observe the thing, but observe what's around it? Worth a shot. There's no any better than I do, I'll wager. He seems fourth dimensional enough to solve this problem. The problem is, we gotta hack into the game's code and figure out the problem. Sure, I open the suggestions. Honestly, I'm kinda lost. I got no idea how to deal with this. I never would have guessed. He grins while saying this. I think he's kidding. Look, here's the deal. Emmy is stubborn. You should know that by now, and if you don't, then you're pretty unobservant, but I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt here. I'm so grateful. Anyway, she decided that she doesn't want to talk about what happened, and she's not going to talk about what's happened. Has she said anything about what's been bothering her? Even a hint? Well, she did say she has been having nightmares about the accident. Really? You're making progress then. That's good. Oh, microphone got cut off? Ah, crud. Oh, my microphone still isn't being cut off. Oh. It isn't being cut off, is it? Because that would be fun. Give me a second. Alrighty, I'll just assume and hope that our phone doesn't cut off again. Well, I guess I can let you in on this without violating my strict non-interference policy when it comes to Emmy making stupid decisions. Here we go. Well, I guess I can fill you on this without violating my strict non-interference policy when it comes to Emmy making stupid decisions. The anniversary of her accident is coming up soon. She gets depressed around this time because it was a pretty traumatic event, considering what she lost. That's the other thing. Checked like she lost more than just her legs. What happened? Whoa, nope, not going there. You'll have to ask someone else about that, because that's a whole can of worms I'm not about to open. You can hear me now. Well, that's good. Sorry for it somehow getting cut off. Like I said, the microphone's being a little weird. If Emmy wants you to know, she'll tell you in her own time. You just gotta be patient, that's all. The Twitch delay is really long, it told me. What the heck's happened? Maybe I would have had better luck streaming it on YouTube. Why are you even helping me with all this? Because you're good for her. She trusts you, even if she doesn't think she does. You got the best chance out of anyone at this school right now to help her through this time of year. She won't accept my help, but she might accept yours if you don't screw it up. So don't screw it up, got it? Oh, I'm about to respond, but a knocking sound at the door interrupts me. Hey, you guys still in there? Just a moment, Emmy! Give us a second to get our pants back on. The door bursts open and Emmy glares and eyes at the nurse. Asshole. Didn't mean to get your hopes up. Hey, can we leave me out of this? Hey, what's up, Emmy? Got something? I tried to take a more cheerful tone with her. No need to upset her. She can play the everything's fine game. Actually, I forgot to ask you something. Well, what's that? Do you want to come with me on a trip to my house? My mom's taking dinner. Thought you might want to join us. Well, of course I accept. Harry punches the nurse in the arms playfully. Not you, idiot. You were over last week. I was talking to Hisao. Oh, how interesting. Meeting the parents. I'd love to go, Emmy. Thanks. Nurse raises an eyebrow, but says nothing. Great, I'll be in my room. Swing by after you shower and change into something clean, and we'll grab the bus. Sounds good. I'll see you in a bit. Why would we want to grab a bus? This time it's me who leans in for a quick kiss before darting off to my room. What an interesting development. Maybe we're getting closer after all. Maybe Emmy's finally ready to open up a little. Right, she's just being polite, and a free meal seems like a good way to apologize for last night. Great, now I can't decide whether to be excited, nervous, or depressed. I settle for a combination of all three and hop in the shower. I guess to ask for maybe fixing the Twitch delay. Is there a way to maybe stop the Twitch delay? I could go on Twitch options for a second or something. Or maybe I'll just continue. Debate expresses doubt. Oh, welcome, Raz. I don't think I like riding on buses. Actually, I think I'm pretty comfortable saying that as a fact. They sway a lot, and they smell funny, and you can feel every bump on the road. And they ate my Pikachu. I'm really not looking forward to this. Plus, Emmy's legs keep making a clinking noise that draws the attention of everyone else on the bus. She's in shorts again, and she's got long socks drawn up on her prosthetics so they don't look obviously false again. Doesn't stop the odd look or two every time her legs bump together with an audible clunk. I shift nervously in my seat, and Emmy raises an eyebrow questioningly. Doesn't seem to mind the stares, either that or she doesn't even notice that people are staring. I'm sure she's gotten her fill of odd looks before. After a certain amount of time, I doubt she'd notice anymore. So you guys are super close now. More or less. I'm still having a little bit of trouble. Sal and Emmy are still having a little bit of troubles, though. I guess Zane said it better. Not really. Not really? Maybe, sorta, maybe. We'll see. Not that I'd ever tell me if I asked. Not that she'd ever tell me if I asked. I think I said not that I'd ever tell me. The fact is, I'm not just uncomfortable at the bus. I can't seem to come to terms with the fact that Emmy appears to be trying to bring me closer while at the same time pushing me away. Nurse said she trusts me, even if it doesn't look like it. Not sure I can trust the nurse. He's protective of Emmy, just as I'm protective of Emmy, likely to say something to make her look good if someone asks me about her. So he might be doing that. Still, there's something about the way he seemed genuinely surprised that Emmy invited me along. Maybe last night's talk helped her more than I think, but I'm still worried. Meeting the parents is a big deal, right? Not that I've already met Emmy's mother, but that was just as an acquaintance. Now it's going to be Emmy's boyfriend, with everything that implies. I can feel my heart pounding in my chest, an echo of that snow-covered afternoon that feels like it was so long ago, that might as well be another life entirely. Except then I didn't know what was going on. I also didn't have a medication to help prevent things spiraling out of control. Go a long way in terms of my physical health, and for the second time today I feel like I'm able to live normally now, or at least as normally as possible. Now, if only I can manage my relationship as well as I managed my heart, I'd be in great shape. Well, we're here! Amy grabs my hand as soon as we stepped off the bus. She starts heading down the street almost immediately. Come on, we got a couple of blocks into my place. What? Oh, okay. I followed Emmy down the street, watching her confident stride. Kind of a quick pace for just a walk. She's setting kind of a quick pace for just a walk. I guess she's anxious to get there. So, does your mom do this sort of thing often? Nah, not too frequently. Mom's never been much for playing hostess. Oh, yeah? Yeah, my dad was always the one pushing her to have people over. This sudden unprompted reference to her father catches me off guard. With a look on Emmy's face, I'm not sure she meant to mention him. I think I've only ever heard her talk about him once. All I remember is that Emmy's mom told me that he wasn't around anymore. Oh, mom prefers solitude? Emmy laughs, either from relief that I didn't ask about her father, or from finding my statement actually funny. Not at all. She's why I'm such an outgoing person, you know? She just prefers to be a guest rather than a hostess. It's less stressful that way, or so she says. Clearly she's never had to meet her girlfriend's mother for dinner. Emmy giggles again and speaks in a teasing tone. Nervous, I saw? You shouldn't be, you know? It's not that big a deal. Just dinner at my house, that's all. Yeah, but have you ever brought home a boyfriend before? I confess that part of me dreads hearing the answer to this. I know very little of Emmy's past relationships. I don't even know if there were past relationships. No, I guess I haven't. Hey, maybe this really is kind of a big deal after all. Oh, good. Now I feel twice as nervous. To tell the truth, I'm pretty happy to hear that in the first one. Maybe you got something special after all. Bolstered by this new thought, I managed to calm down considerably by the time Emmy knocks on her front door. Hey Mom, open up! We're here! The door swings open and Mrs. Ibarozaki stands grinning at her daughter. The grin is still surprisingly similar to Emmy's. I'm never gonna get used to that. You know, people normally wait a few minutes before they start shouting at the door. Most mothers say hello to their daughters instead of scolding them right away. Oh, of course, welcome home, dear. I've missed you. The affectionate hug later, we're inside. It's only then that Emmy's mom seems to remember that I'm actually here. Hello. And hello to you too, Hisao. How are you? I'm quite well, thank you. I still have school to worry about for a little bit. Yes, you finished up your exams, haven't you? Must be quite a relief for you both. Certainly a weight off of my mind, that's for sure. Mine too. I think I slept well for the first time in weeks last time from relief alone. This news is a surprise to Emmy's mother. She doesn't show it. Still, her response betrays a note of interest. That's so. Very glad to hear that, Emmy. Now I get worried when you get all wound up about, well, exams. Certainly, Emmy's mother knows something I don't. Or rather, she doesn't know that Emmy told me about the nightmares. It's interesting being able to observe how Mrs. Ibarozaki covers for Emmy. That protective instinct to make sure that I don't know any more than Emmy's willing to tell me. I suppose Emmy's got more in common with Quarks than I ever realized. She moves around fast, impossible to understand through direct observation, yet she has an effect on everyone she encounters. I wonder if Mrs. Ibarozaki will figure out that I know about the nightmares, or is she just keeping everything secret from everybody? Yeah, it's not as bad as this year as in the past. I still helped me to stay focused. Okay, I know that's not true. She would cut off contact outside of school hours during exam week. But she did see me during the day, and she told me more than once that the morning run was the only thing she looked forward to during exams, so maybe it's not that much of a lie. Either way, to hear that being around has helped even a little makes me a little bit better. Emmy's mother's raises an eyebrow at this statement. Either she doesn't believe Emmy, or she's as surprised as I am. Well, then it appears that it's a good thing you two have become so close. I tell you to take care of my daughter, Hisao. Well, it looks like you're already doing that. Emmy grins at this and seems to take pride in my having managed to integrate myself with her mother so easily. Actually, I'd say your daughter has been the one taking care of me. She's got me out and running. I've probably been more active since being here than I ever was, even before. I actually never thought of that much, nor have I ever appreciated the humor in it. I wasn't too active before the heart attack. Pickup games and soccer don't really count since they weren't that common. Now that I know for sure that I have a weak heart, now I run every day, pushing my luck with the help of my medication. I chuckled quietly, then realized that I never finished my sentence. Well, before I had my heart attack and wound up at school here. It comes out so casually. There was a time that I thought twice about talking about what was wrong with me at all. And now it just seems silly to care, especially in the company of Emmy and her mother. Emmy can be cavalier about her disability, and so can I. I think back to the track meet, where Emmy declared herself the fastest thing on no legs. I'm the fastest thing on no legs! The fact of her obvious loss has never seemed to bother her, at least not in public. Being stuck in a wheelchair frustrated her, I know. Even that was something she dealt with on her own, despite my efforts to the contrary. Emmy has the habit of bringing out the more active side in people. I never quite figured out how she does it. Those puppy dog eyes she gets, for starters. Not surprised that she managed to rope you into an exercise routine. If Bryn were just as stubborn as she is, I'm sure Emmy would have gotten her out running with you too. Now that reminds me, Bryn says hello. I turned to the outer edges of the conversation again as we move into the dining room to eat. What's delicious in here, and the spread that Emmy's mom has produced is impressive. Oh yes, look at all that delicious food. What do you guys want? I think I want the plant. Was that a bust? It was a bust, I think. Hey guys, you feeling hungry for carved bust? Oh, you made enough to feed an army in here! Is it too much? I can take some leftovers with you when you go. That sounds great. I can only handle cafeteria food for so long. Something home cooked would be a welcome change of pace. What he said. Thanks, Mom. The food tastes as good as it smells, and there's a lull in the conversation while we're all digging. But what did they cook? Not much of a family resemblance. Well, I guess I can kind of see it with maybe the hair. Then again, maybe Emmy's original design looked more like her mother. Emmy did go through a last-second redesign. Emmy assaults her plate with the usual amount of gusto, and I'll admit that I set a pretty fast pace myself. So, Hisao, I hear that you and my daughter have gotten rather close. I heard you say something like, not really, is so strong that I open my mouth to say it, but then reassert control. We are close, there's no getting around it. I mean, Emmy's brought me here, hasn't she? Fortunately, both Emmy and Mother seem to have taken my reaction as a sign that I'm caught off guard rather than considering saying something cruel. I suppose we have. I blame the morning runs myself. Make it sound like a bad thing, Hisao. Well, I, for one, found it a relief. Chandelier for your portion. Why's that? Emmy's always been a popular girl, never made many close friends. This is a bit of news to me. I've always seen Emmy chatting with her classmates in the hallways. And certainly the whole track team seems to love her. Is it true that she chooses to isolate herself during lunch with Ren and me? Not exactly the sort of behavior one expects from a popular girl, after all. And again, I've experienced her unwillingness to get close firsthand, so I can't say that I'm that surprised. I was beginning to have my doubts. Amy rolls her eyes to the ceiling and grumbles something I can't quite make out. That's good to know, Huh? What? What was that you just said? Nothing. Mrs. Averozaki chokes on her drink with laughter. You've been hanging out with the nurse too long, Emmy. I have to talk to him about corrupting my daughter. So I don't think that would be very effective. For most of it from you anyway, not the nurse. But listen to her, Hisao. She's a born liar. Yeah, right. I don't know, Emmy. I think your mother has a point. But, you traitor, you're supposed to take my side in this. Yeah, you did lie about your leg after the meat. Ow! Kicking the shins from an unmistakably plastic foot cuts you off, not before Mrs. Ivarozaki's eyebrows shoot upwards. What about your leg? It wasn't a big deal, that's all. I was just in a wheelchair for a bit. Last few muffled words are quickly deciphered by Emmy's mother. I suspect she has experienced this sort of thing, and a worried frown appears on her face. That's why he kept dodging my calls. No, Emmy, I know how much you hate being in a wheelchair. What have you been in such a mood lately? Yeah, she's much happier on her feet, so to speak. Well, of course, she spent enough time in the chair just after the accident. She didn't get prosthetics immediately? No, she had to finish healing up before they let her start the sort of therapy you've got to go through to adjust to those things. Especially since she wanted to run on them. I had no idea. Yeah, it sucked. Oh, did you see Rin's Merle at the festival? Anyway, sudden change of topic makes me realize belatedly that she's been fidgeting the whole time her mother and I have been talking. I should have figured on her being a little skittish when it comes to talking about the accident, even around her mother. No, I didn't make it out to the festival, remember? Although I kind of glimpsed it at your track meet, that seemed pretty weird to me. I think that's more or less what she was going for. She talked a lot about making it dreamlike, or trying to make it dreamlike. Rin's art is one of those things I don't think I'll ever understand. That's not surprising. I don't think Rin expects to be understood. She totally wants that art allows people to understand stuff they wouldn't understand otherwise. Well, all the same, she doesn't think that it actually works that way. I'm surprised that Emmy talked about this with Rin extensively enough to actually have Rin's opinion, such as it is. Oh, I suspect that Rin could not, even if she were so inclined, say the same thing about Emmy's. Thus, of course, Emmy is purposely keeping me in the dark about everything, which is likely, but unpleasant to think about. I drifted down this unpleasant train of thought for a while, losing track of the conversation. Hey, Emmy, I've been meaning to ask. Huh? Are you going to visit your father this year? When she says it, you think Emmy's mother was talking about the weather, and the way Emmy reacts, it's clearly not the weather they're talking about. She flinches, a slight jerk of the head backwards as if she's been slapped in the face. Can we talk about this later? Her voice sounds brittle, strained. It looks as if she's been severely shaken by the question. It means that Mrs. Ibarozaki misjudged how close Emmy and I are. Some things, it seems, are best not to converse about with me around. Her father is one of these things. Legs that took your legs is probably another one of those things, if her reaction to the earlier conversation between her mother and myself was any indication. Think Emmy's mother long to realize she's screwed up? Of course you can, dear. I'm sorry to bring it up. I just wanted to ask so I can make plans. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Emmy fidgets nervously, as if embarrassed by her own reaction. I confess that her reaction is confusing. She only just mentioned her father to me earlier today, less than a few hours ago even. A simple question about if she'll visit her father caused such a strong reaction. Thus, whatever serenity she claimed to have reached by means of our talk the previous evening has suddenly evaporated. Or it didn't help as much as she thought, or claimed. I'll be right back. Gotta visit the little girl's room. Emmy gets up and suddenly leaves the table, leaving me and Mrs. Ibarozaki alone. I'm a little conflicted. Should I go after her, or should I stay here? It's obvious that Emmy's departure was not based on the call of nature. Something's bothering her, and I have to know what it is. How do I go about it? Talk to her mom, or go after her? Now we gotta play the Twitch minigame. At least I gotta play it. Is ain't want to shade your chandelier for my plant? The plant wasn't as good as I thought it would be. Dang, Twitch, why was it the heck with the delay? That's good to go to the That also goes for you too, Roz, if you're there. Don't think I'm excluding you. And if you thought that, well, I apologize. And talk to her mother. Alrighty. There's awkward silence at the table for a while after Emmy dashes off. I can't think of anything to say. Emmy's mother sighs, breaking the silence. Sorry about that, Hisao. I sometimes forget that Emmy's touchy about certain subjects. I was talking about the wheelchair thing, too. Should I go after her? Heavens, no! She don't leave the table to continue the conversation, you know. When she's troubled, shouldn't someone help her? If there were anyone else, I'd say yes. But my daughter's stubborn as a mule, and if she wants to be alone, it's best to let her be alone. Otherwise, she'll probably say something she'd regret, which would cause you to say something you'd regret. I prefer that dinner doesn't end with one or the both of you storming out of the house. If that were to happen, I'd be a terrible hostess, wouldn't I? Well, reacted as a fool once today. That's okay. I shouldn't have brought the wheelchair, apparently. Mrs. Ibarozaki frowns, clearly more bothered by Emmy's omission than she let on. Yeah, the chandelier is nice and crunchy. I wish you wouldn't do that. This makes me worry more, you know. She does this often? But running off to the bathroom? No, I can't say she does. Keeping injuries from her mother, though? That's certainly a little more common. Time I catch her lying like that, she assures me that the only reason she didn't tell me is because it wasn't a big deal. If any consolation, I shared the only reason I knew about it at all was because I saw her every day. This elicits a dry chuckle from across the table. Mrs. Ibarazaki sighs, a little sadly. Still has something about getting close to people, huh? I keep hoping I she'll get over that. It's funny, really. She bounced back so well from an accident in so many ways. I guess some things never really go away. Looks of it, the whole thing still bothers her, too. Seems to be a little more willing to talk about the accident without Emmy around, though. Hey, I got a question, if that's alright. Oh? What else did Emmy lose in that accident? First that she gets this way near the anniversary, and she won't talk to me about it. So you thought I'd fill you in, yeah, hopefully. Well, there's a problem with that request, you know. I guess you promised Emmy that you wouldn't tell you when she didn't want to know, and you don't know if she wants me to know. Something like that. Promised Emmy that she'd be the one to tell people the full story. Isn't that important? I mean, it clearly had a huge effect on her if she's still like this so long after the accident happened. That's true. It did have a long-lasting effect on her. There are a few things that she'll probably never really get over. For a moment, Miss Ibarazaki looks incredibly sad, as if an old wound is bothering her. I suppose there are a few things I'll never really get over either. Another dry chuckle, with a shake of her head, Emmy's mother banishes the memory. Look, there's something you absolutely must understand about the way Emmy thinks about the accident. That's that. It wasn't a big deal. I somehow managed to keep my mouth from falling open in surprise, but it takes some effort. That has to be the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. I beg your pardon? Okay, maybe it's not that simple, but it's a pretty accurate summation. Emmy believes that the accident did not define her, and that everything she lost that day didn't define her either. She's not that girl who lost her legs. She's the fastest thing on no legs. Her optimism and energy came out of that wreck without a scratch, as far as she's concerned. Yeah, it goes beyond that, doesn't it? I mean, last night she told me that she refused to rely on me because it would make losing me too painful. Not really. She said she won't tell you about the accident, even though you asked her about it before. She won't talk about it when you ask her. When you ask, it's because to her it's not something you absolutely need to know. Even if she wasn't terrified of getting too close to anyone, she still wouldn't talk about it. She's afraid of being close to me? Oh goodness me, yes. While I talk about being unscathed by the accident, she's gained the ugly knowledge of how quickly it can all be over. She's not going to let people get especially close to her, and she certainly would resent any implication that she cannot work through this on her own. But I don't think she can. Oh no? Are you sure you've been dating my daughter, not somebody else? Trust me, Hisao, she can get through it on her own. But she has nightmares, and can't sleep well, and she does this every year. Tell me, if she wasn't able to get through it on her own, do you think she'd still be alive? She would have killed herself, or something equally melodramatic. So what, I shouldn't try to help her? I didn't say that. I hate seeing my daughter like this, knowing that she could rely on somebody else will let me relax. I just need to understand that accepting help goes against everything Emmy thinks about herself and the way the world works. If you still want to offer her help, then I guess that's your call. Honestly, I'd like you to, but it'd be silly not to warn you that it's not going to be easy. You just need to be patient with her. She's already closer to you than anybody else who's ever met Yamako. Well, it sure doesn't feel like we're very close. Good, that makes this part easier. Emmy's voice nearly gives me a heart attack. Oh, didn't see you come back, Emmy. How convenient. Wait, were you eavesdropping? Nope, just having to come back at the right moment, I guess. Emmy, I saw was just... Emmy holds up a finger, cutting her mother off. On his way out of the house? Yeah, I know. Emmy's troubling with anger now, looking vaguely betrayed. Emmy, don't be ridiculous, we were just... You promised! The pain carried in that last word is almost too much for me to bear. The idea that I could hurt her that much is like being kicked in the guts. Emmy's mother looks similarly pained by the thought. I kept that promise. Just listen. There's no reason to go throwing people out of the house. Emmy's mother seems to be both angry at her daughter's outburst and embarrassed that I'm a witness to it. There's only one real problem with this resolution to this problem, I think. It's okay. I'll go. Really, that seems a little unnecessary. Don't worry about it. Thank you for dinner, Mrs. Ibarazaki, and for the advice. It was my pleasure, Hisao. I'm sorry we didn't get to the dessert. That's okay. I have to watch what I eat anyway. Good evening, Emmy, Mrs. Ibarazaki. The formality of our conversation, coupled with the fact that I'm getting ready to leave, seems to snap Emmy out of her anger. Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. I've been so... After last night, I just thought, you don't have to go. I take it back. It's okay. I can't but smile slightly. She can barely articulate her apology. I really would like to stay. I don't think I can, right now. I need to think about what her mother said, and about what I'm going to do about us. I don't risk accidentally getting Emmy angry again in her current state either. No, I think I better leave. You seem pretty shook up, and well, I'd only wind up trying to help you again. No, you'd prefer if I didn't, so I'm going to leave instead. But... it's not a problem. You don't want a night on a white charger, right? Just promise you one thing, okay? What? Don't break your mom, okay? Just giving you some advice, that's all. Amy nods hesitantly, like the simple idea is that all she can grab onto at this point. She's terribly off balance, but I can't do anything about that right now. And that was where Akira was proven right. Okay. See you tomorrow, okay? Running in the morning. Don't forget! Emmy, I've hurt Emmy by deciding to leave. There's nothing I can do for her as things stand. I know that she's too stubborn to admit that she wants me to stick around. Watch various emotions cross Emmy's face as she tries to process everything that's just happened. Surely comes that calm look again, like last night, that voice that tries so hard to sound careless. Sure, Hisao. See you around. Both of us are willing to concede emotion at this point. I'm just having a hard time keeping up my facade. So I just hop on my heel and walk out the door. I shut behind me slowly, pausing for a moment as the latch catches my hand on the doorknob. Did I make the right decision just now? I was trying to work things out. No, I decide, not in front of her mother like that. In spite of everything, I'd rather keep Emmy's mother insulated from the sort of anger that surfaced last night. But she's probably used to it. Some protective instinct wants me to keep Emmy's image as a cheerful girl intact. For the start, I realize my hand is still resting on the knob. I take my hand away, put it in my pocket, and head down the slowly darkening street. Let out a long breath. Wait until tomorrow morning. It comes isn't going to be easy. In any case, I'd think about what to say to Emmy. I must apologize. I must get through to her somehow. On that account, something has been on my mind for most of the way back to my room. Letter of apology from Iwanako. Oh, we haven't heard from her in a while. I was so concerned about my new life when I received it, I didn't even bother to read it. Now I find myself in a similar position. My curiosity got rekindled. What did she want me to know so badly? Nothing else. Reading her thoughts might help me frame mine. They were tossing it away. Damn, where did I throw that thing? Damn, not here. I check under my desk. That turns out nothing, so I look for harder to reach, more unlikely locations. No, well, now I know we're at last stock point at least. Still no letter though. So I try sweeping my arm under my nightstand, and I feel something crinkly jammed between it and the wall. Grunting a little with the effort, I reach for my prize and soon manage to bring it into light. Bingo! I sit at my desk and read the crumpled paper open. A flick turns on the table light. Getting past empty pleasantries, I look to the point where I stopped reading. Ah, here it is. There are other things I want to say. I'm writing to you because I felt that there are things I should have said after the incident back in winter. I really regret that I wasn't able to say them in person, and I have no excuse for it. The truth is, the times when I visited you at the hospital made me worry about you. When I'm not talking about your health, you seem to become more distant and disheartened. It is natural after something like that happened, I'm sure, but somehow I got the feeling that you had given up on something back then. Happiness, maybe? Giving up on happiness? This sounds pleasantly familiar. wanted to express my feelings, but the right words didn't come to me. I couldn't say anything to comfort you. I'm really sorry for not being able to support you, even when it mattered the most, even though I like you so much. But at least now I can finally be more honest. I go back to those quiet days in February and March. I'd tell you not to give up on yourself. That's what I would say. Maybe you wouldn't have drifted so far away if I had just said something. I hope you manage to get back on your own feet on your own. Yeah, distance between us is also physical. It also feels more final somehow. Wonder if we will meet again. Perhaps it's for the best if we don't. Still, if you would like to correspond with me, by all means write me back. I very much like to hear about your new school and how you are doing. I wish you all the best. Sincerely, Iwanako. After finishing reading the letter, I smoothed it out carefully and set it aside on my desk. Thank you, Iwanako. I wanted to answer yes to your question that snowy winter day, but I never got to. By the time we meet again, it was too late. Or so I thought. What would have happened if I had behaved differently back in that dismally sterile hospital room? I'm sorry, there's no point wondering now. There's no point in trying to forget it either. I am who I am because of all that happened to me, and I look forward to the experience, present, future, and past. Past may have just taught me an important lesson now. Act 4, Motion. I'm gonna hit save. The sound of my alarm is an unwelcome intrusion on a sleep that's in a battle to obtain. I doubt I've been truly asleep for more than an hour or two. Too much to my mind. Did I make the right choice leaving the house yesterday? Did I manage to get Emmy to realize how unreasonable she's been? Never gonna manage to get her to stop being unreasonable? Emmy's mom gave me a new perspective the other day. Not sure if that's the right perspective. She was hurt when I left yesterday too. Well, that part of my conversation is gonna have to include an apology about that. Right thing to do or not, I heard her. I hurried down to the track to talk to Emmy. I think I know what to say. Apologize for leaving first and go ahead from there. Plus, of course, Emmy doesn't show up. But from the look of things, seems like the case. It's not 15 minutes since I got here, and there's no sign of her. She's never late, not unless she's sick, which is unlikely. She probably just doesn't want to see me right now. Take my mind off what that implies. I begin my warm-up routine and take off around the track. It clears my mind wonderfully. For the half hour I'm running, I don't think anything but the run. Oh, this may be a good stopping point for now. Well, shoot. Well, I got this far. I can stop right here. So, because of Twitch delay, I'll just have it stop right here. Thank you for hopping on to watch. And sorry, I was actually wondering if I should go a little further, but yeah. I actually have no idea how far Act 4 is going to go. So we'll stop here and pick up another day. So enough rambling. Thanks for hopping on to watch, and I'll see you all next time. And maybe Zane, you can send me a thing to figure out how to. If there's a way to stop the Twitch delay, because you're right, this Twitch delay was awful. Unless you want to keep going. Ah, nah, that's fine. I can stop here. We can pick up next time. Also, maybe I can check to make sure. Let's see, the Xbox 360 controller will work, so I can get Chrono Trigger to work, because I actually wanted to continue that, don't you know?